48 teams. 16 stadiums. 3 countries, 4 climate zones, and 2.5 kilometers of vertical altitude. Everyone is ranking the squads, the strikers, the managers, the betting odds. But the schedule has already handed out a set of advantages nobody is counting. Thin mountain air that breaks the high press. Furnace heat that erases counterattacks. A cool western corridor that quietly feeds the teams routed through it. Cross-country flights that drain legs before a ball is kicked. Today we run the numbers 2 different ways. First, who does geography and scheduling actually favor, ignoring quality entirely? And then, among those favored teams, who is genuinely good enough to turn that edge into qualification? This is the off-field map of the group stage, the half of the tournament that hides in plain sight. The model has 2 layers. Layer 1 ignores quality completely. It scores only the environment each team actually faces, the altitude, heat, and indoor air of their 3 group venues, their travel and time zone load, the recovery climate of their official base camp, and the home crowd effect for the 3 host nations. Every input comes from confirmed fixtures and FIFA's published base camp list, not opinion. Layer 2 adds raw quality, the FIFA World Ranking from the final pre-tournament release, adjusted for current form and injuries. Then we combine them. And here's the key rule, strength still dominates, about 90% of the weight. A great team in a bad climate still usually wins. Off-field advantage is the tiebreaker. But in a tournament this tight, the tiebreaker is exactly what decides the bubble, the dogfight for the last qualifying spots. So who's favored? At the very top, untouchable, Mexico. Altitude-adapted hosts, playing all 3 group games on their own high plateau, with 80,000 fans behind them and 0 travel. No other team in this tournament gets a gift this large. Behind them, the co-hosts, the United States and Canada, home crowds, home beds, and almost no flying. But look past the hosts and the standout is Belgium. A genuine elite squad, FIFA Top 10, drawn into Seattle, Los Angeles and Vancouver, every single group game in cool, breathable Pacific air, where their pressing never decays in the final 20 minutes. Egypt and Australia ride that same cool western corridor. The pattern is impossible to miss, the Pacific Northwest is handing out free fitness, and the teams routed through it start every match a step fresher than their rivals sweating in the central furnaces. This board is layer 1 in its purest form, quality switched off, environment switched on. Now we bring quality back. When a team is both strong and favored by its environment, you get the highest confidence qualifiers in the tournament, the double winners. Mexico is the textbook case, host status plus altitude adaptation, and Group A all but locked. The United States, a rising side under Pochettino, playing a cool home path on the west coast with the crowd behind them. Belgium, the strongest team in Group G by ranking, handed the gentlest environment in the draw, a runaway group winner on paper. Argentina, the reigning champions and world number 1, drew the J group with 2 of their 3 games inside the air-conditioned roof of Dallas, meaning their press stays alive for the full 90, while rivals wilt. And in Group K, both Portugal and Colombia pick up mild heat acclimatization and indoor relief, pointing to a comfortable pair of qualifiers. For these teams, the question was never if, it's how much they'll win the group by, and how fresh they'll arrive in the knockouts. Now the other side, the teams swimming upstream. Strong enough to advance, but bled white by the route they drew. Uruguay is the headline. A top 16 side, dangerous on their day, but forced through 2 saunas in Miami, where the canopy shades the fans and bakes the players, then an altitude finale in Guadalajara, and a base camp in tropical Cancun that offers no cool recovery between games. Bielsa's team will probably still qualify. But they will pay the heaviest fitness bill in the entire tournament, and that bill comes due in the knockout rounds. South Korea drew the harshest route of any Asian side, Guadalajara's altitude and heat, straight into the Monterrey furnace. And even Spain, the world number 2 and a genuine title favorite, closes its group at 1,500 meters in Guadalajara against Uruguay. Altitude is the natural enemy of the high press that defines them. These teams survive the group. The real question is what's left in the tank when the single elimination games begin. The top 2 in each group usually go to quality. But this World Cup sends 32 teams into the knockouts, which means 8 of them advance as the best third-placed sides. And on that bubble, where teams are level on talent, off-field advantage becomes the tipping straw that decides who goes home. Australia, drawn into the cool western venues with a running team built for exactly those conditions, edges ahead of Paraguay for third in Group D. Egypt, with Mohamed Salah's counter-attacking game thriving in Seattle's crisp, cool air, is one of the strongest third-place bets in the entire field. Panama, a North American side with a near-home crowd in Toronto and barely any travel, sneaks an edge in Group L. Compare that to Kansas City, an open-air oven with record crowd noise that degrades communication, or San Francisco, where bay wind turns long passes into a lottery. When two teams arrive level on ability, the one that slept in its own bed and played in air it could actually breathe takes the last ticket to the next round. So here is the full call, group by group. In the Mexican and Central groups, the hosts and the heavyweights hold, Mexico and South Korea from A, Brazil and Morocco surviving the heat in C, Argentina cruising Group J. In the cool Western and balanced groups, the pattern rewards the favored, the USA and Turkey in D, Belgium and Iran in G, with Australia and Egypt the live third-place threats. In the Eastern groups, raw class wins the clean, neutral conditions of the Northeast, France and Senegal in I, England and Croatia in L, Spain and Uruguay grinding through H. The locks, quality and environment pointing the same way, are Mexico, the USA, Brazil, Argentina, France, Spain, England, Portugal, Germany, Belgium and the Netherlands. The strong but taxed who still go through, Uruguay, Colombia, Croatia. And the bubble teams whose off-field edge tips them in, Australia, Egypt, Panama. 12 group winners, 12 runners-up, 8 best thirds. Let's walk all 12, fast. Group A, Mexico run it at altitude, South Korea edge a brutal heat draw, Czechia the third-place hope. Group B, Switzerland's class and Canada's home crowd in cool Vancouver, Qatar the long shot. Group C, the group of death's little brother, Brazil and Morocco both survive the Miami and New Jersey heat, Scotland's cool climate legs fade. Group D, the USA and Turkey, with Australia the live third on that cool western path. Group E, Germany cruise, Ecuador's altitude pedigree travels well, Ivory Coast lurking. Group F, the Netherlands and Japan handle the Dallas and Houston roofs, Tunisia's furnace edge isn't enough on quality. Group G, Belgium and Iran, Egypt the strongest third-place bet in the tournament. Group H, Spain and Uruguay grind through heat and altitude, Saudi Arabia get AC relief but the gap's too wide. Group I, France and Senegal in the clean northeast air. Group J, Argentina and Austria, with Algeria fighting the travel. Group K, Portugal and Colombia, a comfortable pair. Group L, England and Croatia, Panama the near-home third. 12 groups, one logic, read the air, then read the teams. One last thing, the variable nobody prices in. Everything we've modeled assumes typical June and July conditions. But the single sharpest signal of this entire tournament won't appear until 5 days before each match, the weather forecast over every open-air furnace venue. A cool front over Monterey or Miami softens the heat tax and helps the running teams. A heat dome over the New Jersey final on July 19 flips the math entirely, it favors the deeper squad, the smarter rotation, and turns extra time into a war of pure attrition. So when the forecasts lock in, reprice everything, substitution depth, average squad age, and which managers actually trust their bench. The teams that respect the air, that hydrate early, rotate honestly, and slow the game when the sun is highest, those are the teams still standing in July. The biggest match of 2026 may be decided by a number on a weather app. 16 cities, one method, read the environment first, then read the teams. Everything in this video, the venue data, the climate research, the FIFA rankings, every team's exact route, is broken down city by city in the 16-part series linked below, with the sources in the description. This World Cup will not just be won by the best squad. It'll be won by whoever respects the air, the altitude, and the map. Now you can watch it the way the coaches do. Don't watch it blind.